before we jump to kind of present tense, I had forgotten about the Seth Godin thing. You mentioned, a compressed kind of education. What were maybe some of the big lessons that you took out of your time with him that kind of informed some of the future stuff that you've done? Because you have a very opinionated approach, I think,
Yeah.
into how you build stuff and how you market things.
Oh man. I learned so much from him, and I feel like I'll never be able to give him enough credit, honestly. Seth has this unique lens into seeing the world, and once you look through it, you can't forget what you've seen. And I'm still learning from him. Like just last week, I feel like I reread Free Prize Inside, and I was reminded of so many things I've forgotten, and I was like, I'm excited to like take them back into my work. But I guess first and foremost, the most important thing I learned from him was that marketing and even sales aren't dirty words. They're not bad things. And on some level, I think I'd always thought about them as evil, as these things to use to manipulate people to your gain. And I just like didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be a marketer, didn't want to be a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he helped me understand that in their purest sense, sales is about helping people solve their problems and improving their lives. And if you're selling something to people who don't want it or need it, that's evil. But if you're making them aware of something that solves their problems or helps make their life better in some genuine way, then sales is just about helping that person. And I think that really shifted things for me. It helped me understand that I could talk about the stuff that I was doing, and I could do things to help people find what I was doing. And it wasn't just self-promotion. It was actually helping people if I was talking about it in the right way, being respectful, and talking to the right people.
It sounds like it's kind of a thin line. Like what were some of the implications, I guess, when you talk about the difference between it being, I guess, how do you figure out that you're talking to somebody who wants what you're offering and it's legitimately helpful versus, like you said, kind of the more evil side where you're trying to push something on somebody that they may or may not want? How do you think about that line?
Yeah, I mean, I think step one is less talking, more listening, right? Like you gotta find out who this person is, and it starts with a person, right? Even if you're selling to thousands of people, you have to understand like one person at a time, and maybe that person represents a lot of people, but you got to listen. You got to understand what their needs are, what their problems are, why they do the things they do, why their life is set up the way it is, what they care about, what they love, all that stuff. And I think that gives you a lot of basis for understanding how you can help. And potentially you can help with the product or the service you've got. Potentially you can't. Maybe you can still help, but it has nothing to do with your product. It has nothing to do with selling them anything. And I think that's when you're in that state of mind, then I think you're doing it right. You just want to help this person.